Hello everyone, this is part 62 of our playlist Full Stack Python. Okay, so this is a training course. This is a training course. In this training course, we are learning theory. We are learning theory in depth as well as we are learning programming in depth. Okay, we are learning theory in depth as well as we are learning programming in depth. Okay, so this is not just a video lecture. It is not like 1 or 2 hour video lecture only. It is a training course. It is not a video lecture. It is a training course. Okay, so if you want to become a full stack Python developer, then you should have like maintain your consistency here on this playlist on this journey. Okay, so this is what our training course. So in today's video we are going to learn about difference between we are going to learn about difference between return keyword return keyword as well as yield keyword. Okay, return keyword and yield keyword. What is the difference between return and yield keyword? Okay, a normal function return value using return keyword, a normal function return value using which keyword? Return keyword. Okay, and generator function. Okay, generator function returns value using yield keyword. Okay, so there are two types of function, like normal function, like user defined functions are normally normal function, and if we talk about generator function, okay, so we have normal function as well as generator function. If it is normal function, means it will return using which keyword? Return keyword. If it is a generator function, if it is a generator function, then it will return value using yield keyword. Okay, yield keyword. All right. Now see, return keyword terminates execution of function after returning the value. Okay. If you are returning value using return keyword, if you are using return keyword, then it will terminate the execution. It will terminate the execution of function after returning the value. Once we return the value using return keyword, it will terminate the execution of the function. But what is yield? Okay, so yield keyword after returning value, it pause the execution of function. It pause the execution of function after returning the value. It will not terminate. Remember everyone, please be focused here. It will pause the execution, but it will not terminate the execution. Yield keyword after returning value, it pause the execution of function. Means after returning using yield keyword, function will continue, will not terminate. Okay, now we will see this example. For example, we have a function. Okay, if we are using yield keyword inside the function, if we are using yield keyword inside the function for returning the value, means this function is not a normal function but a generator function. Okay, because we are using which keyword? Yield keyword. So this function is what? Generator function. Okay, so we are calling which function? We are calling generator function. Okay, creating generator iterator object. Why we create generator? Okay, so remember everyone, generator function behaves, okay, it behaves like a iterator. Okay, generator function behave like a iterators. Okay, whenever you create the function generator function, okay, so it will work as a iterator object. When you call the function, so we are calling on one which is what type? Generator function. So creating generator iterator object. So when we call, it will convert into what? Iterator, generator iterator object. Okay, then if it is an iterator, we can iterate the value using next function. Okay, if we are saying next a, so means it will take this value first. Okay, again we are saying next a, so 9 will print. Okay, if we will print this, so 4 will print. If we will print this, so 9 will print. Rest of the value we are iterating using for loop. So we will give a here. So how many remaining values are there? 18. Okay, then 48, then 39 will print using for loop. Remaining values will print by the for loop. Okay, let me write the code so that you can easily understand. So in order to write the code, we will open PyCharm. Okay, we will open PyCharm. PyCharm is an IDE. What is the full form of IDE? IDE nothing but integrated development environment. If somebody asks you what is IDE, what is the full form of IDE, then you will say integrated development learning environment. Okay, all right. So here we will create a function which is a special function. Special function means generator function. Okay, we will create a generator function. So see, in order to create the function, in order to define the function, we use def keyword. Okay, for definition of the function. Function name is user defined, means we can take any name, but function name could not be a keyword. Okay, so if you are using yield keyword, if you are using yield keyword, Why we are using yield keyword? We want to return 4. If we are using yield keyword for returning value inside a function, then this function is not a normal function, but this become generator function. Generator function. It will become generator function. Okay. So for example, you are return. So if you return value using return keyword, it will return 4. After that, it will terminate the execution. But with the help of yield keyword, you can return the value and it will not stop the execution. It will not terminate the execution. Means after yield keyword, you can return more than one value. Okay. Any value you can return using yield keyword. Okay, but we cannot return more than one value using return keyword because return keyword terminates the execution. Okay. So generator function. Why we create generator function? Because generator function behave like a iterator. Generator function behave like a iterator. Okay. For example, when we call this function, so this function return an iterator. This function will return iterator. Calling, calling which function? Generator function. Or you can say, because generator functions behave like a iterator. So creating generator function, or we can say calling generator function, is like creating a new iterator, or we can say creating a user-defined iterator. So we can say we are calling generator function, or we can say creating user-defined iterator. Okay, both are the same thing, and we will store this iterator in a variable. Okay, in a variable, for example, x. So now x is what? X is an iterator. So can we iterate x using next function? Yeah, if x is an iterator, we can use next function. Okay, next function. So it will receive one value. It will receive one value. Which value it will receive? Which value it will iterate first? It will iterate 4. Okay, and we will store this value inside what? Inside a variable which is called a. Okay, in a variable we will store this value, iterated value. Okay, if you will print a, so what it will print? It will print the first value of iterator. It will print first value of iterator, then it will pause the execution, but it will not terminate the execution. Okay, if I run this code, so what value I receive? I will receive 4. Okay, so if you want to receive this value, like if you want to iterate one more value, then what you will do? Again, our iterator name is x. So using next function, again what you will do? Iterate. Okay, so what you will do? You will write next function and you will write iterator name and you will store the result in a variable like b. Okay, so what's the b value? When we print b, so we are iterating second time, so b value now 5. B value is now 5 because first time we are iterating, so it will receive first value like 4. Okay, and second time if you will iterate using next function, so second time it will return which value? Second value. Okay, so if we say print b, we are saying print b, so it will print b data like 5. 4 and 5 is printed. For example, we have more values in this function, in this generator function, like 30. Okay, 40. So it will take more time if we will iterate using next function. If we will use next function, it will take more time. So instead of next function, we will iterate using for loop. So we will say for, we will take value in what? We will give iterator. What is the name of our iterator? Take x. X is our iterator name. So here we will write x. Okay. So for is what? For is a keyword. Value is what? User defined variable. User defined variable, you can give any name, but name should not be a keyword. In is what? Membership operator. Here x is what? X is an iterator. Okay, x is what? Iterator. Because we already seen like creating generator functions. Creating generator function is like a creating user defined iterator. Okay, or we can say new iterator. So what is the iterator name? This function, when we call this generator function, it will return an iterator, and this iterator we will give to the for loop. Okay, so we already exist some values, like we already x exist 4 value and 5 value we have already read. So what are the further values? 10, 12, 30 and 40. So it will iterate by the for loop. Okay, so here we will write print, and here I will write message as well. y, I will give message y for loop. Okay, and here I will write value. Okay. So what we are using here, we are using f string. Why we are using f string? So that we can print the message as well as variable data in a single line. That's why we are using f string. F string is nothing but formatting string. So if we will run this code, so what will happen? What will happen? What is the output? So 4 and 5 iterated using what? Using net function. How many time we are using? One time. And this is the second time we are using. So means two values we are iterating using which function? Next function. Rest of the value we are iterating using for loop. We are iterating using which loop? For loop. Okay, using for loop. Okay, so first and second value iterate by the next function, and rest of the value iterate by the for loop. Okay, all right. If you want to create another iterator, so also you can create. Okay. So for example, For example, I'm again calling which function? Generator function. Generator function. Calling generator function is nothing but creating another iterator. Like y, I am creating another iterator. What is the iterator name? Y. Okay, so we can say, okay. So what we will do, we will call, what is the function name? Function name is f1. So we will say f1 because generator function name is what? F1. So we will write here f1. Or we can say creating new iterator. Okay, calling generator function is same as creating new iterator. So what is our iterator name? Y. Okay, y is our iterator name. So can we convert our iterator into list? Okay, how we can convert our iterator into list? So using list function, we can convert our iterator into what? List, and we will store this list in a variable, which variable name is list1. Okay, list1 receive what type of data? List type of data it will receive. Okay, then we will print. Then we will print which one? List1. What we will print? List1. Okay, so what is the output now? If I print, then what would be the output? See, 4, 5, 10, 12, 30, 40. Why? Because we are we are creating iterator. Okay, which iterator? Fun1 iterator. Okay, what is the iterator name? Y. Okay, and what we are doing, we are converting our iterator data into what? List data. What is our iterator data? Our iterator data is 4, 5, 10, 12, 30 and 40. 40, 30 and 40. Okay, so what will happen? With the help of list function, we are converting our iterator data into what? List data, and we are storing inside the list where list1 variable, and we are printing list data. Okay, so it will give data as a list. Okay, so see, it is printing like this, correct? Okay. Okay, so range is what? Range is what? Range is also a data type. Range is also a data type. So we can, so what we can do, we can use range, like range equals to range, in parenthesis we will give start value and end value. Okay, so what is the C value? Starting with 1 and ending with 10. Okay, stop minus 1 means if it is 11, so it will run till 10. If it is 12, then it will run till 11. Correct? So what we will do, we will write here for I in C. C is what? An iterator. This is user-defined iterator or predefined. This is predefined iterator. Range function is a predefined iterator. So when we call the range function, it also return an iterator. Okay, but it is not a user-defined iterator. This is already predefined iterator. If you want to create user-defined iterator, then you will create what function? You will create generator function. And how you will recognize whether it is generator function or a normal function? If you are seeing yield keyword inside the function, if function returning value using yield keyword, so means this is what function? This is generator function. If function having return keyword, means this is a normal function. Okay, when we call the generator function, it's mean creating new iterator. When we are calling generator function, means creating new iterator. What's the name of our iterator? X. Okay, here also we are calling a function which is predefined, but it also return what? It also return an iterator. Okay, but this is a predefined iterator. We cannot customize the range. Okay, we cannot customize it. So this is predefined iterator, and our Fun one is user-defined iterator. So what we will do, we will give this iterator. What's the name of iterator? See, we will give this iterator to the for loop. We will give this iterator to the for loop, and we will iterate each value. Print. Okay, and also we will pass message. Okay, range by range function. Okay, then what is the name? I. Okay, because each value received by I. Okay, C is the iterator name, and iterator iterate each value and passed to I, and I will print data. Correct? If I run this code, so what will happen? Okay, so what will happen? This is our user-defined iterator. This data from user-defined iterator. This is also user-defined iterator, and this is data from what? Predefined iterator. So it is giving value from 1 to 10, 1 to 10, okay, by range function. Correct? I hope you are getting. Okay, so can you see yield keyword here? Can you see yield keyword here? If you are able to see yield keyword here, so this function is reward function is what type? This is generator function. This reverse function is what? A generator function. Okay, and what we are doing here? What we are doing here? This function receiving one. This function receiving one parameter, which is required parameter. It is receiving one parameter, which is required parameter. And what we are doing? What we are passing inside this parameter? Okay, here, see here, we created a list. What's the name of the list? List one. And we are passing this list one to ITR object. ITR is predefined function. ITR is a predefined function, or we can say iterator object. So it will return what? Iterator object. So we are giving this iterator to for loop. Okay, so it will return what? It will iterate this all values. This will iterate this all value in ascending order. Ascending order. Okay, then again what we are doing, we are again calling another iterator. Why we are saying this is iterator? Because this is a function, but we are using here yield keyword. So this is a generator function. This is what? A generator function. So what we are doing, we are passing a parameter inside this function. Okay, so this function parameter, received here by s. Okay, then what we are doing, we are using slicing, and if we are writing step value -1, okay, see, inside this square bracket, we mention start value, okay, and we mention stop value, and we write step value. Okay, we mention what? Stop value. Correct. So start is not there, stop is not there, and step is -1. Step is -1. So if step is -1, if step is -1, so it will start reading from left to right. It will start reading list from left to right. Sorry, right to left. This is what? Right to left. Right to left, it will start reading. So first it will read 50, 40, 30, 20, and 10. So this revert reverse iterator is what? User-defined function. User-defined iterator. User-defined iterator. But here iter is what? Predefined iterator. So we cannot modify work of ITER, but we can modify work of revert iterator. Okay. So once again, please try to give answer. Everyone, please try to give answer. Why we create generator function? Because we create generator function so that we can create user-defined iterator. We create generator function so that we can create user-defined iterator. Okay. Here, what is user-defined iterator? Here, reward function work as a user-defined iterator because yield keyword is there. Okay, let me write the code so that you can easily understand. So, for example, see, first I am creating what? I am creating here list one. Okay, list one I am creating. And what is the data inside the list one? 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Okay, so for example, I'm using predefined iterator, ITER, and inside this iterator, I will give list object. I will give list object, and it will return me an iterator. Okay, it will return me an iterator object. Okay, it will return what? Iterator object. And what we will do, I will pass this iterator object to the for loop like this, and I will print what? Value. I will print value. So what will happen? In ascending order, it will print data in ascending order. It will print all data. Okay. So if I run this code, so what will happen? In ascending order, like 10, 20, 10, 20, 30, and 40. It is printing. But I want to change the behavior. I want to change the iterator behavior. So what I will do, I will create user-defined iterator. So how you will create user-defined iterator? First you will write def keyword, then you will write iterator name, like reverse iterator, and here you will receive an argument. Okay, an argument like s you will receive here. Okay, so what you will do, what I will do here, I will say s equals to s colon colon minus 1. Colon minus 1 means it will reverse the list. It will reverse the list. Okay. So what we will do here, what we will do, we will use for loop for x in s. S is what? An iterator. S is what? S is what? A list object. Okay, not iterator, but it is a list object. Okay. Then what I will do, I will write here yield. I will use here yield and I will return each time one value I will return. Each time one value I will return. Okay. So now I will create the iterator. How can I create the iterator when I call this function? When I call this function, what is the function name? Revert, reverse iterator. And here I will pass list object. What we have, list we have, so list object I will pass. So this is what list object I am passing here. Okay, and it is returning what? It is returning iterator object. Okay. So for example, B is what? Iterator object. Or we can say here creating user defined iterator. Iterator, creating user defined iterator. Then we will give this iterator to what? For loop. Okay, what we will do, we will give this iterator to for loop, or we can say values, or okay, not for but in, and b is what? Iterator. We can write here iterator name. What is iterator name? B. Okay, and we will print values. Okay, so what will happen here? What will happen here? How many iterator we have? How many iterator we have? First one we have itr iterator. Another one we have re- reverse iterator. We have two iterator. If we talk about this, so this is what? This is what predefined iterator. Okay, predefined iterator. And this is what? This is what? This is user defined. User defined, or we can say generator generator function. And generator function means why? Because it have it has yield keyword. Okay, and when we are creating this object, when we are calling this function reverse itr, so means we are, what we are doing, we are creating user defined iterator. Hope you are getting. Okay, if I run this code, so this first iterator return value inside what? Ascending order. But this iterator, which is user defined, will print value in what? Descending order. See, first iterator is returning value in ascending order, second iterator returning in the descending order. Correct? From here, or we can write message as well. For loop. Okay, or we can say REP correct? We can pass like this as well. And if I run, so what will happen? Like this, it is printing in reverse order. So this is how we can change the behavior of iterator. So why we create generator function? So that we can create user-defined iterator. So that we can create user-defined iterator. Correct? Now see this example. Okay, so this function containing what? Yield keyword. If this function containing yield keyword, mean this is what function? This is generator function. This is what function? Generator function. It is not a normal function, but it is a generator function. What is the name of this function? Prime generator. Prime generator. How many arguments? How many argument we need to pass in order to call this function? Just wait. Okay, how many argument we need to pass in order to call this function? Two argument. First is start and then stop value. Okay, and what we are doing here, we are writing prime number logic in this function. In this function, we are writing prime number logic. Prime number logic. Okay, what is the logic of prime number? What are the prime number? Like 2 is a prime number, like 3 is a prime number, 7 is a prime number. Okay, so all the prime number can divide by 1 and itself. all the prime number can divide by 1 or itself. All the prime number can divide by 1 and itself. Okay, itself. Okay, so what is the count? 1 and 2. What is the count of this prime number? 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Okay, so here what we are doing, here we are maintaining a counter. Okay, we are maintaining a counter. If count value equals to 2, then we will return what number we will return? We will return prime number. Okay, what's the logic? If number is divisible by I, okay, I will run 1 to num plus 1. Okay, if number is divisible by I, okay, and what we will do, then we will increment the count value. Okay, for example, we have a number like 4. So 4 can divide by 1, 4 can divide by 2, and 4 can divide by 3. So what is the count? Count is 3. Count is 3. If count value is not equals to 3, means it is not prime. 4 is not prime. Count value is not equals to 2. Okay, so it is not prime. If it is equals to 2, if it is equals to 2, it means this is what? Prime number. Okay, that's why we are writing these conditions. Okay, and then what we are doing? We are calling which function? Prime generator. So what we are doing when we call generator function, it's mean creating a new iterator. What is the name of this iterator? Prime generator iterator object. Okay, and this object received by A. Okay, so our iterator name is A. So what we are doing, if we say next A, okay, in the next function we are passing our iterator. What's the name of iterator? A. Okay, so it will give first prime value between 5 to 20, correct? And then again we call, so again it will give the value, correct? So let me write the code so that you can easily understand. Okay, we will write the code in order to better understanding. You also need to practice this code. Everyone, I'm saying to all of you, please download this presentation and try to write the code. And whatever code you are writing, just comment your code in the comment section of this video. Correct? So first we will create a function with the help of def keyword, and we will write the function name. Prime generator is a function name. Okay. Then we will write arguments, or we can say parameters. Okay, parameters start and stop. Two parameters we have. Okay, next what we will do, we will write the logic of prime number. What's the logic? We will write a for loop, and num is what? User defined variable. In is what? In is a membership operator, and range is what? Range is a data type. Here we will mention start value. Okay, and we will mention stop value. Stop plus 1. Okay, why stop plus 1? For example, if you are giving stop value, example, if you are giving stop value is 5. So 5 means then it will execute 1, 2, 3, 4. It will not execute till 5. If you are giving your stop value is 6. So it will execute till 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But 6 it will not consider. Okay, that's why we are giving plus 1. Why plus 1? Because I want to include 6 also. So if I say 6 plus 1, so means 7. So it means 6 also will include. I hope you are getting this basic concept. Then I'll give the column, correct? Now I will define the counter. Okay, C is what? Nothing but counter. C is what? Counter. Counter initializing initial value is 0. Then we will write, what we will do? We will write logic for I in range. Okay, I in range. And then what we will do? We will write prime number logic starting with 1 and num plus 1. Correct? And if we check, if number modulus I equals to 0, okay, equals to 0, then we will increment the counter value. We will increment the counter value, counter plus equals to 1. Okay, later, after this loop, okay, after this loop, we will check if counter equals to 2. If counter equals to 2 means this is a prime number. So we will return what number? We will return that prime number. Okay, what we will return? We will return the number. Okay, we will return that number. Now we will call the function. Which function? Prime generator function. When we call this function, means we will create a iterator object. So for example, I am writing prime generator. Okay, prime generator, and I will pass the value. I will pass the value like between 5 to 20. Okay, so what is the mean of this? What is the mean of this? If I am creating, if I'm calling prime generator function, it's mean creating, we can say creating prime generator iterator object. Correct. So calling means creating prime generator iterator object. Okay. And this object hold by a iterator which is a. Okay. Then what we will do, we will write here next function. Okay, we will iterate each value using next function of this iterator. Okay, and we will store this value inside what, like value 1, we will store this value inside this. Then what happen if I will print the value? If I print the value, so what will happen? Value 1. So I'll get what? A prime number. I'll get a prime number. Okay, 5 is a prime number. We are checking between 5 to 20. So first number I got as a prime number, which is 5. 5 itself a prime number because start value is 5, stop value is 20. Okay, so if I say again, if I again use next function, I'm iterating each value. Okay, yield keyword does not terminate the execution of the function, but is pause. Okay, so when I again call this iterator, it again resume the execution of function, and it will return another prime number, which is I can hold in a variable which is value 2. Value 2 variable will hold, and if I print value 2, so I will get next prime number. First prime number is 5, next prime number we will get through this print function. Okay, what's the next prime number? 7. Okay, if you want to iterate all the values, if you want to iterate all the values at once, then what you will do, you will give this iterator. What is iterator? A is the iterator. Instead of giving next function, we will give this iterator to the to what, to a function, to for loop. Okay, for in a is what, iterator, and we will say print value. Okay, so all the prime number will printed between the range 5 to 90. Correct? I hope you are getting, everyone. Okay, see the output. See the output. So all the prime numbers we are getting between 5 to 20. So these are the prime number between 5 to 20. Hope you are getting. Okay. Now we will see Python generator expression. What's the mean of Python generator expression? Okay. So in Python, generator expression is another way of writing the generator function. It uses the Python list comprehension. It uses what? Python list comprehension technique. But instead of storing the elements in a list in memory, it creates generator object. It create what? Generator object. Instead of storing, see this line. Instead of storing the elements in a memory list, okay, okay, see again from here, see from here. Okay, again read generate. Okay, just wait. Generator expression is other way of writing the generator function. It uses the Python list comprehension. Okay, Python generator expression uses Python list comprehension technique, but instead of storing the elements in a list in memory, it creates generator objects. Okay, it creates generator objects instead of storing lists in a memory. Okay, so what's the syntax? See the syntax, generator expression syntax. The generator expression in Python has the following syntax. First, we will write expression. Then we will write for loop keyword. Then we will write item. Item is a user defined variable, and we will write in is what? In is what? Membership operator. Then we will write iterable name. We will write iterable name within enclosed with parenthesis. Enclosed with parenthesis. Okay. I hope you are getting. Okay, see everyone, see this example. Okay, for example, value. Here is the expression for, okay, value is a user defined variable in range. What's the range? 1 to 51. And we will write here condition if value mod value is divisible by 2. Okay, and it giving equals to 0 means this is what? Even number. What we are doing, creating generator iterator object using expression. Okay, then what we will do, this iterator object we will give to the for loop in order to iterate all the values. Okay, let me write the code so you can easily understand this. Okay, so first what we will do, we will write parenthesis. In parenthesis, we will write expression. Okay. And we will write for loop value in range, value in range. And what's the range? 1 to 51. I'm giving range. And we will write condition. We can write condition also if value, if this value, okay, if this value, okay, let me maximize the screen. If this value modulus 2 equals to 0, okay, so this is what? This is what? This is even number, and we will store in this even iterator. Okay, this function, this expression create an iterator object. Okay, even is a variable which will refer iterator object reference. Then what we will do? We will write a for loop for value in even. We will give even iterator to the for loop for iterating all the values one by one between 1 to 51, and we will get even list, even number list. Then we will print, like what we are going to print. We are printing values and end with space. Okay, if I run this code, so all the even values I can get. Okay, all the even values I can get. Okay, so this is what? This is what? This is generator expression syntax. This is Python generator expression. Okay, this is not a comprehension, but it uses the comprehension technique, but this is known as Python generator expression. Correct? Okay, if you want to print odd, if you want to print odd list, so simply what you will do, what you will do instead, okay, see what we will do in order to print Python like odd list. So we will write parenthesis, then we will write value, and we will write for loop, then for example I, and then what we will do, we will write in range like 1 to 51. It will generate values. Then if I modulus 2 not equals to 0, this time not equals to 0, then okay, here what I will write, here also I will write I. Okay, and this what will happen, this will create an iterator object. So this will hold by odd variable. Okay, now what I will do, I will for loop, I will write a for loop, and I will write like I in range, and not range, but I will give this iterator object to this for loop, and it will iterate all the values. Let me write print, and I will write I and end with space. Okay, so if I run this code, all the odd values will print. All the odd values will print. Correct? Okay. See, for example, we have this list. Example, we have this list. Okay, for example, we have this list. Okay, this list we have. Then what we will do, we will write our code. Okay, so in this list, can we filter the data? Like I want to filter the data, I want to fetch all the even numbers. So what I will write, I will write parenthesis, then value for value in, okay, what I will write, value in list one. Now what I'm giving here, list object I'm giving here. Okay, then what I'm doing here, if value modulus 2 equals to 0, equals to 0 means I will get even list. And if I write odd equals to value for value in list one. Okay, this time I want only odd values, so what I will do, I will write modulus 2 not equals to 0. It should not divide by 0. Then what I will do, I will write for loop for, okay, for e in even iterator I will give, and I will print. Okay, before printing I will write the message print odd, okay, even data, correct. And then I will print the even list, I will print even data. Okay, then I will write again for loop, and this time I will give odd iterator to this for loop, and I will print odd data, and default line end by space If I run this code, so I will get, okay, so I will write here another printf for line changing. Okay, if you are giving nothing inside the printf, if you are not writing anything inside the print function, so it will change the line. Okay, and here I will write message also, print odd data, odd data. Correct. If I run this code, so we will get even data, which is, this is even data. Okay, as well as we will get, as well as we will get, as well as we will get odd data. Okay, we have odd data as well. Correct. So this is how we are getting even data and odd data. What we are doing, we are filtering the data. Okay. See, now we will learn about lambda function. Now we will learn about lambda function. Okay, lambda function or lambda expression, both are the same thing. You can say lambda function or you can say lambda expression. Lambda function are anonymous function. A function which does not have any name is called anonymous function. A function which don't have any name known as anonymous function. Lambda function does not have any name. Okay, so a function which is known as which a function which does not have any name known as anonymous function, and lambda function don't have any name. Okay, lambda is a keyword here. Okay, but lambda function does not have any name. Okay, see, lambda function are used with higher order function. A function which receive input as another function is called higher order function. Okay, a function receiving input from another function known as higher order function. A lambda function can be defined as function argument. A lambda function can be defined as function argument. Lambda function is defined with lambda keyword. Lambda is what? Keyword. Lambda keyword. For example, see syntax. So lambda is a keyword. Then we can write parameters. Okay, parameters are optional. You may write the parameters and you may not write the parameter. And then we have expression or statement. And we will store this data inside a variable. Okay, variable name could be anything. Variable is what? User defined. Lambda function can be defined in two ways, with parameters and without parameters. I already said these parameters are what? Optional. It may have and it may not have parameters. Correct? Okay. Lambda functions are frequently used with higher order function, which take one or more function as argument or return one or more function. Okay, lambda function take argument as a one function or more than one function, or it could be written one function as well as more than one function. Correct. See the syntax, see the example. Okay, so lambda function, and we have lambda keyword, and this function don't have any parameters. Okay, because after column, see this column, after column we write the expression, and before the column we write expression. Sorry, we write before the column we write parameters. So there is no parameter before the column, so only one statement is there, which is hello. And this function do not have any name. So this lambda anonymous function will return a function reference hold by a, and we will call a. Correct. So for example, if I write here lambda function, see this. For example, in order to create lambda function, first you will write keyword lambda keyword you will write. Then if it is parameters, then you will write parameters like this. If parameter is not there, then simply you will give colon and you will write print, and here you will write hello. Okay, and this function don't have any name, so I will this function hold by a variable, like we can say fun. Fun is a variable which holding lambda function. Okay, so we will call here fun. Okay, so this is how hello will print. If I'm not writing this, so what will happen? If I don't write this, so what will happen? If I run this code, so nothing will print. So in order to execute the lambda function, you need to call the function. So how you will call? You will call like this, because lambda function can return a function or more than one function. It can take one function as an argument or more than one function as an argument. If I What I'm doing here, calling lambda function. Correct. If I run this code, so what will happen? Hello will print. Okay, hello will print. Okay. For example, now we will see lambda function with parameters. Okay. So for example, see, in order to write the lambda function, first you will write lambda keyword, then you will write After lambda keyword, you can write the parameters if needed. So parameters is 1 and a and b is 2 parameters. And here you can write operations or expression. That operation is a plus b, a plus b. So this lambda function return a reference of a function. Okay, return a function. So it will stored by like x. So how you will call this lambda function? You will call x. So lambda function containing parameters or not? Yes, parameters is there. Okay, these are the required parameter. Whenever you call lambda function, so you will pass two values, a value as well as b value. So you will pass a value as well as b value. Okay, a value as well as b value. And this lambda function is returning what? This lambda function returning what? Like it will give, this will give, this will give result. Okay, addition, it will give addition, we can say add. Okay, so what will happen? Okay, if I print add, okay, instead of y I am writing here a and b, this is wrong, no? I will write the value because I will write a value as well as b value, 10 and 20. Okay, so if I, what I am doing, lambda function required what? Two inputs in order to execute, because we have two parameters, and then this operation will return like a plus b, and we will storing in add variable. Okay, so what we can say, print f string addition. Addition is, what's the addition? Add. We will write simply add. So if I run this code, so what will happen? Addition is 30. So this is how you can write the lambda function. Okay, if you want to write the lambda function for subtraction, so what you will write? First you will write lambda keyword. Then what you will write? Parameters, list of parameters. Then what you will write? You will write expression or operation a minus b. Okay, and this will return a function, and you will store inside what? F. Okay, so whenever you will call f function, it requires some input, like input is like 10, 10 and 5. Okay, then this function return what? An operation. This function will return an operation. An operation is what? Operation is subtraction. Okay, so I can print now. What I can print? I can print like subtraction is, okay. Okay, let me write difference. Difference is, or subtraction or difference, you can write any name. And what we will do, we will write here what? OP, small o and p. So what will happen? Subtraction will perform. Subtraction will perform. What is the subtraction? 5. 10 minus 5 is 10 minus 5 is 5. Correct? Okay. Hope you are getting. Hope you are getting. So this 10 value received by A, and this 5 value received by B, and this operation returned by here. Okay. And this lambda function we can call using F. Whenever you call this lambda function, it required two input, 10 and 5. Okay. Because this lambda function have two parameters, A and B. Correct? Hope you are getting. All right. Okay, this is how you can write lambda function as much as you want. Okay. Okay, see this example. For example, we have a function. What's the name of the function? Calculator. We have a calculator function. So in this calculator function, we will write three arguments. First is like a and b, and second one is fun. Okay. So we have three arguments, a, b, and fun. So in this calculator function, we will receive two values as well as one function. Correct. So now we will define this function. So we will write n3 equals to, n3 equals to, we will write here n3 equals to, n3 equals to, yes, n3 equals to n a comma, okay, n3 equals to a comma b. But here what is our function name? Our function name is fun. So we will write here fun. Correct. And this value returned by n3, and we will return received by n3, and we will return what? N3. Okay, we are not using a yield keyword, so it is not a generator function. This is a normal function. Okay. So for example, if I, how we can call this function? First we will write the function name calculator. Calculator is a function name. Then we will pass values for a. We will pass value for a, and we will pass value for b. Like value for a is 10 and b is 20. Now what we will pass this time, we will pass function, but we will not pass like normal function, but instead of normal function we will pass here lambda function, or we can say anonymous function. We will pass anonymous function. So how we can write the anonymous function? With the help of lambda keyword. Lambda is a keyword, and we will write parenthesis, parenthesis, like, no, not the parenthesis, but parameters like a comma b. Two parameters are there. Then we will write expression like a plus b, or we can say operation. So this function receiving what? Lambda function. This fun function receiving what? Lambda function. And in this lambda function we have two parameters a comma b. So it will receive a comma b. Okay, then this function written what? This function written what? A plus. Okay, this lambda function receiving what? A comma b, and return what? An operation is performing. Okay, hope you are getting. Let me explain you again. Okay, see. So we have this argument, this 10 will received by here, 20 will received by here, and this complete function received by this. Okay, so this is the anonymous function. This is the anonymous function. What we are doing here, a comma b, it is receiving and performing operation. So a comma b, it will receive a comma b. What is the a value? 10 and 20, and addition it will return. Okay, so addition, this function return what? Addition, because this containing reference of lambda function. Okay, because lambda function passing here in this function, so means this function have reference of lambda function. Okay, then this lambda function will return this operation, and this operation will store in n3, and we will return n3. Correct? So okay, see everyone, just wait. Okay, all right. So this calculator function, returning what? N3, and we will receive this n3 in a variable. Okay, in a variable, like result is a variable, or result1 is a variable. We will store here, and what we will do, we will print the result. We can say addition is, okay, addition is what? Like we will write result1, and this will become f string. Correct? And if I run this code, so what will happen? Addition is 30. Hope you are getting. So it is receiving function, but what function we are passing? Lambda function. Lambda function. Correct? So it is nothing but a lambda function, and we will write lambda function. So it needs two parameters. Two parameters required. Okay. So see here. So for example, again, I can call this function again. So if I call this function again, then what I need to do? I need to pass two values and then one function. Okay, if I'm saying passing function means I will pass the lambda function. So see, again I will call this function calculator, and calculator function required how many arguments? 3 arguments it required. Okay, spelling is wrong. Calculator. Okay, so first value is like 30, second value is 20, and then we will pass lambda function because it required function also na. So we will pass here function. So lambda function, how many arguments? Two arguments, two parameters. This we are creating this function. Okay, we are creating this function. So this function received two arguments, and then this function return what? This function will return a minus b. This function return what? A minus b. Okay, so here we are writing a minus b means this function. This function is receiving two values. This function receiving two values and returning one value, which is what? A minus b. A minus b. Okay, so this will receive like result 2 it will receive. Okay, now we can say what we can say? Print. Okay, using f string, subtraction is, and what's the subtraction? Result 2. Correct? Hope you are getting. If I run this code, what will happen? Subtraction is 10. 30 and 20 subtraction is 10. Correct? Likewise, you can perform all the operation using lambda function. Okay. Okay. Everyone, please practice the code so that you can easily understand. All right. See, we have more iterables. Okay, we have more functions like filter function we have, map function we have, and reduce function we have. For example, we see filter function. So filter function required a function and one iterable. construct an iterator from those elements of iterable for which function is true. Iterable may be either a sequence, a container which supports iterations, or an iterator. If function is none, if function is none, the identity function is assumed. If function is none means it assumed as identity function, that is all elements of iterable that are false are removed. Whatever elements are false in iterable will remove. Okay, see this example. For example, we have list. In list, we have so many elements. So many elements we have. And what we are doing, we are writing lambda function in a filter function. Okay, filter function required a function as well as a iterable. Okay, so this is what, see again. Okay, see we have filter function. We have filter function. Filter function required a function. What function we are passing? We are passing lambda function and one iterable. What is the iterable we are passing? List iterable we are passing. Iterator, list iterator we are passing. Correct. Then what we are doing? This filter function return what an iterator. So we are iterating this iterator using for loop. Okay, and we are printing values. Okay, so it will print what value? Even numbers. It will return what? All the even numbers from this list. Okay, then we are printing all the evens number, then line change. Okay, after that what we are doing, we are again writing filter function, and in filter function we have lambda function, because filter function receive two things. One is function, or another one is iterator, which is list iterator we have. Okay, and then we are receiving inside b. Okay, so we are giving this b iterator to this for loop, and this will collect all the data from the iterator. What data? Which is not divisible by 2, means odd data, and it will print odd numbers. Like this is an even number, this is an odd number. Okay, with the filter function we are seeing. With the filter function what we are doing, we are filtering the data. Alright. Next, in the next lecture, we will learn about map and reduce function. Okay. So thank you everyone for giving your valuable time. So thank you, all of you. Thank you everyone for giving your valuable time. Okay, and please practice the code so that you can easily understand the logic, so that you can easily make the logic by yourself. Okay, what we are learning? We are learning concept, basics to advanced. We are learning all the concept. And it's your responsibility to practice the code from different platforms. Okay, thank you everyone, and don't forget your smile. Do practice as well as don't forget your smile. Okay, keep smile on your face and spread the happiness among your society and among the world. Okay, and be prepared yourself for the worst situations. If situations is nice, then prepare yourself for the worst situation. Okay, all right. Thank you everyone. Okay.